on the Everett Ellison show. We're going to talk about these executive orders that Donald Trump has been throwing out and how the left and the Democrats are just losing their minds over it. And yeah, I'm having a ball watching it, man. So we're going to talk about these executive orders today on the Everett Ellison show. All right, let's get this thing started. You know, there was a great poet, and his name was Jack London. Jack London gave this great line. He said, "The proper function of man is to live, not to exist. I shall not waste my days in trying to prolong them. I shall use my time." Let me read that to you again. The proper function of man is to live, not to exist. I shall not waste my days in trying to prolong them. I shall use my time. Jack London. Thought about that when I saw Donald Trump on his first day. As soon as he took oath of office, that joker started signing executive orders. You've seen a lot of presidents get into the White House, and they're just glad they got the job. Man, I just want to sit in the chair. I'm President of the United States of America. Let the games begin. Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. No, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump says he's got promises to keep, like Robert Frost, and miles to go before he sleeps. He's going to use his time. He's going to use his time. How has he used it? A little over 300 executive orders in one day. Just putting them out. Bam, 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 bam. We're going to talk about some of those executive orders that Trump has put out and how they're affecting people. I mean, one that's driving people crazy is the order against DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, or as I call, didn't earn it. And Trump just said everything in America now is going to be merit-based. Left, whoa, what are you talking about merit-based? Oh, hell no. And you look around and say, man, what's wrong with people earning things on merit? I mean, we getting ready to watch the Super Bowl. You got two black quarterbacks starting, Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. It's going to break records. You know why? Because everybody watching that game know those two brothers earned it. Everybody watching. It's going to be 10 times more white people watching the Super Bowl than black people. And they're not going to care that those boys are white. I mean, they're not going to care about those boys being black. They're not going to care about that. They're going to care that they're good. Both of them are amazing to watch. Both. Mahomes and Hurts, just amazing. Saquon Barkley, amazing. And they're going to sit back and watch the best athletes in the world in their prime play. And the nation's going to watch them. And they're black. And yet you got the Black Caucus and a bunch of ignorant black preachers out there hollering about DEI, DEI. And then you ask them, how does DEI help you? I don't know. Well, there was an institute called the Washington Institute for Law and Liberty. The Washington Institute for Law and Liberty. This institute says that $120 billion has been spent on DEI by the federal government in the last 4 years. $120 billion used to tell white folks that they're racist even if they don't know it, and to tell black folks that they're oppressed even if they don't know it. Just stupid stuff. Microaggressions. Ignorant mess that says that even if you're a white person that has never done anything to hurt a black person in your life, you are still a racist. You know why? Because you haven't done anything to stop racism. I guess they say that you're supposed to be out there marching on the picket line, or you're supposed to join BLM or NAACP. If you haven't done that, you're a racist. And you got white folks stupid enough to fall for it. You got somebody walking up to me telling me I'm a racist against Asians. Why? Because you ain't never walked on a picket line with an Asian. I said, man, Get the hell out of here. You crazy. I haven't done anything to an Asian person. I've never heard of an Asian person before in my life. I've never discriminated against. I don't care if he's Asian. Because you hadn't walked on the picket line with Hispanics, done anything to stop Hispanic bigotry, you're racist against Hispanics. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And you're not going to call me one or make me feel like I'm one. You go to hell. Fall for your stupid gaslighting. Trying to get me to get there and march on the picket line and get shot with water hoses and sicked on my dogs because they go there. Oh, sure, man. I ain't John Lewis. No crash test dummy. I'm like Sonny Liston. They asked Sonny Liston when he was heavyweight champion of the world if he was going to go down and march with the civil rights marchers. Sonny said, no, all they're going to do is catch punches. Hell no, man. I ain't going down there and just get the hell beat out of me. For what? I'm with Sonny. So, bunch of black liberals got mad. Black Democrats got mad about DEI. Oh, they mad about it. They don't even know why they mad, but they mad. So Al Sharpton, Reverend Justice, just the most. I mean, I did a cutout on Al from one of my podcasts last week. And so many people that know how shady and shifty and no good this joker has been for like 40 years, ever since the Tawana Brawleys in the early 80s. Just a terrible human being. So now, Al has decided to ask black people to boycott every business that is taking back their DEI policies. So in other words, black people are going to starve to death in America because all of them did it except Costco. So Al went to Costco to shop and said, everybody come shop at Costco because they still got their DEI policies. So since Al is telling everybody to shop at Costco, I'm going to tell all of my viewers, don't shop at Costco because they got DEI policies. Go to Sam's Club, okay? Go to Walmart. Go to Kmart. Go to Lowe's. Go to Lowe's. Don't go to Costco. Boycott Costco because Al Sharpton says, go to Costco. Yeah, but Al mad, and he going to tell black folks to not go shop at these stores. And he actually thinks black folks going to listen to him. That's the sad thing about it. Al Sharpton actually thinks that he still got some pull in black America. When everybody look at him and laugh every time they see him. Look like a damn fool. Walking around with the James Brown hairdo, walking around, I'm strutting like he's still. He don't run nothing. And MSNBC gives him that little perch. And MSNBC got about like me, maybe, I got more viewers than MSNBC got. He got about maybe 20,000, I mean, just terrible views, right? So they give Al Sharpton this little platform, pay him a little bit of money. And Al think he run black America. And they want him to run black America. But nobody pays Al Sharpton. The people that pay Al Sharpton some attention, I'd be some of the stupidest people walking the face of this earth. Because if you can't look at Al Sharpton and tell that he's a shyster, your spirit of discernment is completely gone. I mean, you just don't understand nothing. A person can sell you the Brooklyn Bridge for $500, you'll buy it. A person that looks at Al Sharpton and don't know that he's a shyster will buy the Brooklyn Bridge for $500 and think he really own it. That's how stupid he is. So Trump hits DEI. Of course, the left goes crazy. When the left goes crazy, Trump loves it. So then they start lying on Trump about DEI. You know what they said? They said, well, Donald Trump overturned the 1964 Civil Rights Act. You can now discriminate on account of race, sex, gender, sexual orientation, all that. And I said, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I'm calling people calling me all over America. Said Donald Trump just rescinded the 1964 Civil Rights Act. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. People, go take a civics lesson. The 1964 Civil Rights Act was passed by the Congress, the Senate, and signed by the President. The only way it can be rescinded is that the Congress, the Senate, and the United States and the President of the United States of America have to sign off on rescinding it, or the Supreme Court has to overturn it. Neither one of those things has happened. So what did Trump do? Lyndon Johnson signed an executive order regarding affirmative action. In the executive order, the first paragraph, he used the language from the 1964 Civil Rights Act, quoting that his act would do more to make sure people are not discriminated based upon race, sex, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then he goes down and he starts talking about affirmative action through executive order. That's the part that was rescinded. The affirmative action and DEI was rescinded by Trump, not the 1964 Civil Rights Act, okay? So the left went out there and started gaslighting people, started telling lies, and black folks started saying Trump is just rescinded the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Stone cold lie. I don't know if they did it out of ignorance or if they did it out of malice. Either way, people that do stuff like that should not be leaders of men. They should not be speaking on television, and they should not be speaking to crowds that are over 3 people. So, but they did it anyway. So Trump also put out an executive order, and this is one I love, expanding school choice, trying to give school choice into private schools, trying to make sure that parents have an opportunity if their children are not learning, that they can pull them out of these bad schools and put them in schools that are going to educate them. Good God, man, what is wrong with that? And you know why the Democrats fight against it? You know why? Because the teachers' unions that give 99% of their money to the Democrat Party want a monopoly. They want to control all the money that goes into education. They want to control the education because most of the teachers' unions, not the rank and file teachers themselves, the rank and file teachers themselves are good as they can be. It's the teachers' unions controlled by Randy Weingarten from the ATF and all these other ones that control the curriculum and everything. And they're basically communists and Marxists, anti-Christian bigots. And they want to control the education of your children. This is where all the LGBTQ and all the sexual grooming and the drag queens come from. It comes straight down from these unions. Not from the teachers, not from the school boards. It comes down from these unions. And the Democratic Party does what these unions say. And they will keep your child locked in a failing school where they know that they will not learn. And you vote for them. And you didn't want to tell me slavery ain't a choice. Slavery ain't a choice. Psh. Man, you crazy. Of course it's a choice. And you choose it every day. So Trump going to put an end to that. What else is Trump going to put an end to? He says that in the federal government, there's going to be 2 genders, male and female. All Democrats went crazy. You know why? Because before they had like 70-something genders. 70-something genders. You're talking about a state of confusion. And that's why they had that man in the dress, Rachel Levine, ugly man in the dress. They had that Sam Britton guy, the one with the red lipstick. They had a bunch of freaks and weirdos up there at the White House, man. It was just a bunch of freaks. You go up there, you don't know what to do. All of them crazy. And all them greasy black preachers right with them. And you think the black preacher going to go up there and try to sanctify or pray for these jokers or something, right? Oh, no, they're right up there with them. I remember my daddy telling me. I promise you he told me this when I started to get involved in politics. He said, son, I always taught you to, revere the church, pray to God. He said, if you trust a bootlegger before you trust a black preacher. He said, you hear me? Worst people walking the face of the earth. He said, not all of them. You got a few good ones out there, just a few. But you trust a bootlegger before you trust a black preacher. Came from my daddy's mouth. And he said there's few out there. And I'll tell you who they are. But the vast majority are no good. And you know what? Daddy told me that about 30 years ago. And I have found it out to be absolutely, positively correct. Worst folks walking the face of the earth. The most stupid and the most ignorant is the black preacher. And all of them are always talking trash about me, telling me they want to debate me and all this kind of stuff. I told them I'd take them 20 at the same time. They don't ever show up. You can't look me in the eye and take me on. How they gonna look at me and tell me I support LGBTQ, I support aborting children up to the 9th month, I support fentanyl coming across the border? How are you gonna tell that to me? Bunch of liars. So Trump kills the LGBTQ thing, the pronouns, more than one gender. And then he did something real cool. He pardoned the pro-life activists. He pardoned the January 6th activists. Because he knew that Joe Biden and them had set these people up. They used the Justice Department to really hurt these people. It cost them a lot of money, took away their freedom, took away their liberty. All because they went to protest at their house. Their house. Well, he took care of that. And he pardoned the pro-life activists. Yeah, y'all didn't know that the Biden administration taking people that will go to abortion clinics and were protesting. They lock them up and put them in jail. Put them in jail. There was some languishing in prisons. Trump pardoned them. He as you know, he signed a executive order releasing the King files, the JFK files. It's been a source of contention for a very, very long time. Very long time. He said, no, I'm going to put an end to this. The American people need to know the truth. We're going to let them know the truth. We're going to tell them what the truth is, and they're going to respond to it. And they have a right to respond to it because they're free people. And free people are not controlled by their governments. Governments are controlled by their people. Government has no right to keep information from us. And then Trump did the best thing he did. That joker not only sent National Guard down to secure that wall, man, Trump started a deportation campaign that's deporting up to 1,500 to 2,000 jokers a day. Running them out. Putting them on military planes. Taking them back to the country of their origin. He said he was going to do it. It's not something, see, he ain't like Barack Obama and Biden had the lies way into office. Hey, he said he was going to pardon the January 6ers. He said he was going to pardon the pro-abortion people. He said, the pro-life people. He said that he was going to pardon the January 6th people. He said he's going to do it all. He's doing it. So he also said he was going to deport. He said he's going to start the largest deportation campaign in the United States of America's history. He said it, and he's doing it. Matter of fact, DHS got a hotline where you can call and tell them about an illegal that you might know about. Yeah, snitch on an illegal. Inform on it. This is a hotline. Listen, 1-866 DHS 2 ICE ICE 1-866 DHS 2 ICE ICE. Oh yeah. If you're here legally, God bless you. We want you. Stay as long as you're permitted. Become a citizen if you like. We love you. But if you are over here illegally, run your behind out. And you have to ask yourself the question, why do Democrats want these folks coming over here illegally? Man, that's just low down. And then you got Democrats saying, what about separating families? And what about separating families? You say, well, no, I didn't separate his family. When he decided to come over here illegally, he decided to separate his own family. Nope. You ain't ever worried about it. You don't ever worry about when an American citizen get arrested and you separate from his family. When you arrest a mother and separate her from her family. And then you got these sanctuary city mayors. Boy, ain't they got some nerve? Will put their own American citizens in jail and going to run interference for an illegal. Man, that is some nerve right there. And the Democrats won't let you pass a law that will take all federal money from these sanctuary cities or have the mayors locked up. They'll block it. Because they care more about illegals than they care about American citizens. Yeah, they'll block it. Let Trump try to pass a law saying that we're going to take all federal money from sanctuary cities. It's going to have to go through the House, and the House will pass it. Then it's got to go through the Senate and get 60 votes before it can go to a vote. And the Democrats are going to block it every time. Yeah, that's your Democrat senator. They're going to block it every single time. You know why? Because they have this crazy belief that no country should have borders. They don't believe in the sovereignty of the United States of America. They don't believe in this nation. They don't believe this nation should exist. Without borders, y'all, you have no nation. It's the George Soros crew. George Soros is an organization called Open Borders Society. Open borders. They believe in a borderless world where people just come and go as they please. You remember the John Lennon song, Imagine There's No Country? That's how they see it. Understand, the Democratic Party is not the loyal opposition that they used to be. They're not the loyal opposition. They are an insurgent, communist, Marxist organization with one goal, and that is to overturn the government of the United States of America. Until you get that in your head, you do not understand what you're dealing with here. They are not the loyal opposition. They hate this country. They hate the Constitution. They want to overturn the Constitution, and they want to make sure this becomes a communist enclave of atheists, and they want everybody to live in little block houses. They want to take away your private property, your freedom of religion, your right to keep and bear arms. They want you to wear the same clothes, drive the same car, live in the same type of house, and make a robot out of you while they live on top, controlling everything. Driving what they want, eating what they want, wearing what they want, living how they want. And you say, Vince, you tripping. Vince Ellison tripping. Vince Ellison crazy. Vince Ellison, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, okay, look at Communist China. See what they've done. They've taken their whole population and pimped it out to the world and say, if you want some free labor or some cheap labor, come to China. We'll make it for pennies on a dollar. How about citizens sleeping in coffin rooms? Yeah, these are rooms no bigger than a coffin. If you want to look at a bunk bed and put a door on it, that's where a lot of people in China sleep. That's their house. Coffin rooms. Look them up on Google. You don't believe it? Look at Russia, how it used to be. Old Soviet Union. Look at Cuba, how it used to be. Well, how it is. No, man. You don't want to live like that. But you got so many ignorant Democrats over here that think that that's a good idea because ain't something wrong with them. I look at them and say, ain't something wrong with y'all. It's just something that doesn't connect with them, you know? It's almost like the Democratic Party is taking them as children and they give them some type of crazy drug that's messed their brains up. But it's this guy from the Soviet Union that says that when you demoralize the people, there is no amount of information you can give them that will help them. You're wasting your time talking to them. I figured that out. Especially black Democrats. They don't need to waste your time. Nope. If the Democratic Party was choking them to death, they'd kiss them with their dying lips. If you found out Martin Luther King Jr. did all kind of mess, they don't care. They can find out he was not a Christian. They can find out he was a communist. They can find out he was a rapist. They can find out he hated black people. You know what they're going to do? Still going to love Dr. King. What kind of sense does that make? I'll tell you what type. Zero. but they still do it. So what do? You don't waste your time with them. Don't waste your time at all. Trump has designated the cartels down in Mexico and in South America terrorist organizations. Oh, that means we can light them up now. Yeah, we can light them up now. That means when them suckers come up here selling drugs and whatnot, sex trafficking and human trafficking, we can send some missiles down there, stealth bombers, find out where they live, kill them all. Now, Mexico got an attitude. Hold it. Well, hold it now. Hell, they in on it. It says that 1 in 10 of illegals in the United States of America are Mexican. 40%. And Mexico is how all of them get here. Them suckers will take a caravan straight through Mexico. Everybody see them coming. Where y'all going? To America? Well, let's give you some water to help you get there. Just let them walk through the country, go straight to America. Trump said, y'all going to cut that mess out. He said, if you don't cut it out, I'm going to put a 25% tariff on you. Now, how you like that? And they say, hold it now, Trump, hold it. So if they're not holding it no more, cut this mess out. Send all these people in my country, they killing folks, raping people in the park and killing them, breaking in people's houses. Done with this. And now Trump has said he's going to send him to Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay. He said, no, we ain't going to have him on American property. We're going to have a 15,000 bed facility at Guantanamo Bay. We're going to hold him there and wait to ship him out. Yeah, that's going to make a whole lot of them think twice about coming to the United States of America. Oh, yeah, Trump doing it. They said he's the first president that has a higher approval rating at the beginning of his second term than his first. Crazy as he is, people said, yeah, it's got to be done. And so he's got to deal with these people now. He's got these sanctuary cities, you know. People like Brandon Johnson. I hope they find a way to put him in jail. He just make me sick. And ain't he ugly? Every time you see him on the news, you just want to just shoot the television. Lying to people. Boy, people in New York City, you should see those city councils, they be cussing that joker out. I mean, they're trying to flip Chicago red, but like I said, the people are so demoralized, ain't no way you're going to ship it. I mean, he got like this mohawk haircut and got a little white beard, just like a fool. Look like the devil that he is. And just destroying that city. Destroying it. Telling all the illegals to come there, don't have any money to take care of them. They sleeping in the street. They crapping in the street. Mayor Eric Adams up in New York City said he done had enough. Come get him. You telling Trump, come get him. They've destroyed my city enough. Come get him. And then you got Pope Francis. He want to talk about it. He's putting up walls and running out illegals. He's unchristian. How many you got at the Vatican? Don't you have a wall up at the Vatican? Yes, you do. Do you let anybody that want to come to the Vatican come? Because if so, I'll be up at the Vatican in about 2 weeks. I'm just going to walk on in there, see what you try to do. Start eating your food, going in your refrigerator. What's going on, Pope? Everything all right? Hell, you don't let nobody walk up in your house, putting their feet up, taking everything you got. But you got the nerve to come tell somebody else that they should do it. Yeah, how many illegals you got at the Vatican? Lead by example, Pope. Open up the doors of the Vatican. Let the illegals come in. Lay around all on that marble and in that big castle that you live in. Let them all come in and eat at your table. Show me how it's supposed to be done. Nobody wants to hear a sermon. They want to see a sermon. Mother Teresa used to show a sermon. She was down there with those children, feed them, living amongst the poor. Yeah. All the talk. Catholic bishops, all of them walking around with diamonds on and all that money living in these night houses. How many illegals you got staying with you? So keep on going, Trump. Don't worry about what they say. And then they had this little Episcopalian bishop. She's a prelate of the Episcopal Church, the Bishop of Washington. since 2001. Her name is, she's the first female bishop. Her name is Marion Budd.
There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land.
She got the nerve to go up there and tell Trump to let the most of the illegals stay in America, and talking about transgender people and all this kind of stuff. So she wants to keep using federal money to castrate little boys and call them little girls. Give double mastectomies to little girls and call them little boys. Allow illegals to come into the country and sleep on the streets and urinate and defecate on the streets like they're dogs. They think that's compassionate. To have 300,000 children get lost. Nobody know where they are in the sex trafficking industry that came across the border last year. These idiots call that compassion. You know, I saw her on there. I looked at her. And when I did my research on her, I was surprised to see she was married with 2 children. So who the guy that married her need combat pay? Because I could have swore, well, I ain't going to take that no further. I'm going to leave that alone. She's married with 2 children, God bless her. But her politics is all wrong, and her religion is all wrong. And I know Donald Trump wanted to say something to her, but it shows, y'all think Donald Trump ain't got no restraint? If he didn't have no restraint, he'd have well up there, he'd have cussed that white woman out. He'd have called her everything but a child of God. And I'd have said, they had to tell her. But he didn't. He sat there and he just chilled and looked at her and kind of laughed at her. And said, so when y'all don't think DT got restraint, y'all need to look at that. And you'll see mega restraint from Donald Trump. But y'all, he is shaking things up. He said he was going to do it. America's going to be better for it. I'm especially happy about the school choice thing. I'm especially happy about making sure that the illegals get out of the country and that he start protecting the border against the fentanyl and against the sex trafficking and all that kind of stuff. I'm happy about that because it's going to make the country stronger. It's going to make us better. We want the people to come here legally so they're protected and they get proper wages and get proper care. Not illegally. We want our children to get a better education so that when Elon Musk says we don't need any more of these A1 visas, saying that I got a job to spend $150,000 a year, but there is no American that is qualified for the job. So I got to bring people all the way from Europe to take a job that I wish I could give to an American. And Trump says I got to do it. Why? Because the people ain't here. We can't leave these jobs vacant. And this is an indictment on the public educational system, that we have these high-paying jobs here in America, but we have to go overseas to get people to fulfill them because we won't educate our population well enough to fill these jobs. Who benefits from that? The Democrat Party, because they want you poor and they want you under their heel. So Trump's doing school choice so we can educate our children and take these high-paying jobs here in the United States of America. And I said, hoorah! So people, y'all keep watching your television. Because Donald Trump's going to be doing much, much more. And while he's doing right, I'm going to support him. If he starts doing wrong, I'm going to tell you about it. Because you can believe one thing, player, I am here to wake you up. Hope I did you some good today. So you make sure you join me on Thursday for another edition of the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, friends, Vince Everett Ellison is here. I want you to go to my website, and on my website, you're going to see a lot of great stuff, man. You're going to see that we got t-shirts, we got caps, you got my books, my documentaries, you got all kinds of stuff on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Go there. We're dropping new t-shirts, we're dropping new merchandise. My new book, The End of Tolerance, is there. The End of Tolerance. Make sure you get it, make it #1. If you got my first 3, get The End of Tolerance. It's just as good. And it's telling us we have to end our tolerance with these leftists, these Democrats. We can no longer allow them to sexually groom our children. We can no longer allow them to castrate little boys and call them little girls, run God out of the public square, take away our guns, take away our sovereignty. No longer allow it. So go on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That is VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Hit merchandise. You'll see the t-shirts. You'll see the caps. You'll see the books. You'll see the documentaries. You'll see it all. And let's keep this ball rolling. God bless you.